Good morning. Today is January 30th, 2022, and Who Day, biggest game of the generation between Kansas City Chiefs and our Cincinnati Bengals. So I am thrilled because, first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to my cousins in Kansas City. I love these guys, and my cousin Gary flew in from California to be with our Kansas City relatives. So I hope the Bengals win, but if they don't win, I'm going to be really, really happy for my Kansas City family. So, hooday. Why am I here today? Well, I'm all about coffee, naps, and books. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about in a roundabout way. So I am a very, very different person than I was a year ago today. And I've had a major mindset shift. And actually, this all started in February of last year, February and March. So I want to share a little bit about my journey with you because I want you to experience the happiness and the joy and the confidence that I have learned over the past year. And I was not a happy person prior to this transformation. So what happened to me in 2021? Well, I overcame an intense fear of water. I overcame a fear that started when I was just had turned 9 years old, literally. My Uncle Jerry saved my life when I was drowning in Lake Huron on our Michigan vacation. And it was an extremely traumatic event for me that I really didn't realize the impact of that event until I read this amazing book, which I'm going to share with you and talk to you a little bit about. But I overcame this terrible fear of the water. And I also, COVID teaching, so I'm a high school English teacher. I actually burned a hole in my esophagus with the 2020 shutdown. It was not remote teaching, it was crisis teaching, crisis learning, and I needed to learn how to manage that so that I literally did not kill myself through stress. So I overcame that, and I am no longer on a prescription dose of Nexium. My esophagus is healthy, praise God. So these were two really, really big things that helped me to improve my physical and mental health through a very powerful mindset shift. Started with this book, but the other thing that happened was I managed to get my sleep back to a stable, healthy level. I had had insomnia for years after never having sleep trouble. About 10 years ago, I think it was hormonal, but I started having terrible insomnia. And because of Alzheimer's in my family, I was really, there's not a lot prescription I can take. So, and I was under the care of a sleep specialist and my doctor. And a friend of mine, Christine, told me about this wonderful product called Sleep Chews that Neora has. And I asked my doctor about it. I showed her the ingredients, and she said, that's all natural stuff. I don't know. It's not regulated by the FDA. I don't want you to take it. And so she gave me a prescription that did not work. And this was back in August. I ordered these finally in February of 2021, when I literally was losing my mind because I couldn't even function because I had not had sleep. I took these. And one a night, within a week, I was sleeping soundly. And after a month on these sleep chews, I noticed that I was feeling refreshed in the morning. And I mean, I just felt better. And, you know, when I would put my makeup on and my lipstick, my skin was responding. And I realized that when we sleep, our cells regenerate. They need the nourishment of the oxygen while the rest of our body is not moving. So I'm like, tell me more about this Neora stuff, because this is amazing. So, and also Christine has been using Neora products for 10 years. I actually taught her 3 sons, and every year I would see her at parent-teacher conferences, and I'm like, you're aging backwards. You look younger and younger. And she is using the Neora skincare. But what I wanted to, and I am too, by the way, I started that in March of last year. But what I wanted to talk to you about, which is a product I've been on since March of last year, is the Fit. And I've lost 20 pounds on this fat burning product and have kept it off. And I've not changed my diet, which is my goal for this year and why I'm on today. I want accountability because I'm going to do it this year. But what this is just 3 simple powders that you take. I take the Slim & Skin. I mix it in my coffee in the morning. I love it. It's tasteless. It has a very high grade of marine collagen. I've noticed my hair, my nails, my skin is great, but more importantly, my joints are feeling better. You know, clearly I'm overweight, right? You can see that. And it's really taking a toll on my joints, my knee, and I had an ankle injury that I ignored for a while. So I did a lot of damage to that. But I'm noticing less joint pain with this product. And then this in the afternoon, you just take it without water or anything. It's meant to be for busy people on the go. It kind of tastes like a pixie stick, if you remember what those are. And this is a prebiotic and probiotic combination. And what I've noticed about this is tremendous improvement in my gut health. I've had irritable bowel syndrome. I've had we don't need to go into all that, but it's kind of been unpleasant. And now I'm having regular formed stools, and well, it's good. I don't need to go into the details on that, but let me tell you, it's much better. And then the last thing I take at night, I actually take it when I'm cooking dinner, because you can take it right before bed or you can take it earlier in the evening. This is the Calm and Cleanse. It's got a little bit more for your gut health. It's got some high power greens in it, you know, very healthy. And it also kind of just helps you relax. And it doesn't make you drowsy though. Like I say, I take it about 5 o'clock in the evening, but it helps with the sleep. So actually I'm still taking these every night. My husband is taking these as well. But what these 3 products do together is they restore your gut health, and they actually are a fat browning product. So what they do is they convert your white fat cells to brown fat cells by increasing the mitochondria in those cells. The brown fat you can burn off. And as I said, I have lost several inches overall, and I think almost 30 inches throughout my body, and I've lost 20 pounds and I've kept it off without really modifying my eating habits, which but at this point, even though I've kept it off, it's time to get a little more serious about focusing on my nutrition. So that's my goal for this year. And so what I wanted to talk about was this book, because this was really the secret sauce to my success. This is called The Slight Edge, Turning Simple Disciplines into Massive Success and Happiness. It's written by Jeff Olson. This has been, you may have heard of this book because it's a bestseller. A lot of people in business read it. It's a fabulous philosophy for life. And the premise of The Slight Edge is basically that success is based on simple daily habits that are very easy to do, but they're also very easy not to do. And over time, you get the result of your daily habits. Now, it also is, we're never constant. Things are always changing. We know that, right? here in Cincinnati, we got the weatherman predicted passing flurries. Well, we've got almost 4 inches of snow. So we know how through nature we can observe life is always changing. So the slight edge, the daily habits, the choices we make either bring us up or they'll kind of a downturn, right? And so over my life, my downturn has been related to food. But this book has helped me to realize that I've got success in a lot of ways. And with relationships with my husband, we've got 3 kids. So, get rid of the all or nothing thinking, right? That's not healthy. But what I want to talk about, I want to share one idea with you because change, when you want to change yourself, it can't be this brute force, suck it up and power through, because that's exhausting and that's not maintainable and it's not self-love. And this is the huge mindset shift that happened to me, is that, first of all, we are all capable to become the best versions of ourselves through love and through positive thinking and a mindset shift. And I don't want that to sound trite because it's huge. And you've got to read this book to kind of get it. But this is the book that helped me be brave and confident to overcome a fear of water. 47 years I was terrified to go swimming, to go in the ocean, to get on a boat in the open water. I'll still never take a cruise, I don't think, for other reasons. But I overcame a fear of water, my goodness, and I did it on a jet ski in Florida on the Banana River. And I will share that story with you another time. It was the most glorious day that I've had in a really long time. But what I want to share with you is one little page, because with Coffee Naps and Books, I'm going to be sharing little snippets of books that I've read. But this is about happiness. And the beautiful thing about happiness is that there's been a lot of research in the science and the psychology behind happy people and what they do. But as Americans, folks, this is our birthright. In the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin wrote, "We are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Our founding fathers, who were willing to risk their lives to be hung for treason if their plan failed, knew and understood the importance of happiness in a life that is successful, productive, self-motivating, and giving to other people, right? We're not living in a vacuum. We're called to be light and goodness to each other. And happiness is a key ingredient in keeping that momentum of a fruitful, joyful, productive, loving life. So I'm going to read one page to you. And this happens to be on page 96. And what Jeff Olson says is, with respect to our founding fathers, instead of pursuit of happiness, let's talk about the realization of happiness. And this is the key to the mindset shift. When you have your mind right on a goal or an obstacle that you want to overcome, if you are centered in joy and in positive and in possibilities, it's not an internal battle of the will. So let me just share with you, okay? In the past 15 years, science has learned happiness doesn't come from genetics, luck, or chance. Happiness has a lot less to do with circumstances than we think it does. Happiness isn't the result of some big, out of reach event or attainment. Happiness is created by simple, easy things we do every day. And lastly, and unhappiness is created by not doing those simple, easy, everyday things. So that is so, so important. So at the risk of getting, continuing to read here, at the risk of getting historical pursuits all bent out of shape because we're fiddling with such a venerated document, let's make a one-word update to that declaration. Let's frame our definition of success as life, health, liberty, financial freedom, and the realization of happiness. And so now you realize happiness is not by winning the lottery, not by buying a mansion or a Lamborghini, not by moving to the Riviera, not by becoming rich and famous or marrying a movie star, although my hubby is a rock star in my world. Not by gigantic achievements and accolades, not by having a fairy godmother or fate or phenomenal good luck somehow make everything in your life perfect. No, how you realize happiness is by doing simple things and doing them every day. So that's not at all how I overcame the fear of water. That was another part of this book. But what I wanted to share with you about this happiness today is because I am happy. And down to my soul, I am happy. In the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of teaching, which will never be the same again. Students are different. And I praise God that I was able to make this shift because I've got to teach for several more years. And prior to reading this book, I was on a path of self-destruction physically. Literally, ulcers are not something that is good for you, right? So I feel that I am equipped to move forward in this next phase of my life. And I'll share you something else rather personal. So last January, I came home from work, and this is prior to me reading this book. And, you know, my husband and I were just kind of moping around the house, and our baby went off to college. By the way, he graduated from high school in 2020. It was a pandemic graduation. God love him. He didn't know any different. He had a ball. But my husband I came home from work on a Friday, and my husband was already home, and we had dinner, and then about 5:30 or 6 o'clock, he said, you know, I want to talk to you about something, and I want to ask you, how are you feeling about life, about our marriage? Are you happy? Because I'm not. And we've been married 32 years, 33 years this August. And the conversation was not, please, you know, I want a divorce, I hate you. That was not what he was saying. What he was saying is, I think we can do better. I think we're meant for something more than what we're living. And we literally were just trudging through the day, surviving, and hanging in there together because, you know, we have a Christian marriage and we're in it for life, good, bad, and ugly. But what my husband invited me into was, let's figure this out for this next phase of our life. You know, we're going to grow old together. How's that going to look? And I think that a lot of couples do get divorced when the youngest goes away to college. And so we didn't want that. But it was a time to recalibrate our marriage. And I'm so grateful to my husband for naming it and claiming it and we talked until midnight that night, and we just talked and had some hard conversation about, and we kind of just, I don't know, reviewed our whole, we've been together for going on 36 years, just our whole journey together as a couple. And we talked about what we did really well, and we talked about those bumps in the road, right? But I would have to say that my husband Dan was the first piece of kindling in the fire that stoked my desire for real change. And then, and it's all divine order. I know the Lord had directed all of this, and I just had to pay attention and get on the clue bus. So that was January. And then February, Christine, well, she introduced this to me in August. And then in February, I'm like, forget the doctor. I'm going to try these. What's the harm? And bam, I started sleeping well. And then February came and I did that. I was feeling pretty good. March came and I tried these little gems, and I also started the skincare line, which I think has done amazing things for my skin and my neck. And I read this book, I started it, and my husband and I went to the beach in Florida, and that's when it happened. That's when I overcame my intense fear of water. And I am in such a better place starting into 2022 than I was a year ago, less than a year ago. So, so the purpose of this YouTube video is for me to share my journey with you, and we can learn from each other. You know, I really want to hear from people, and my plan is to maybe interview a couple of my friends and people that are living successful, happy lives. It's about happiness. It's about self-actualization. It's about a mindset that is forward thinking and loving and successful. So I'm excited for that. But ultimately, friends, I need to get off the rest of this weight. I am obese, and I've lost 20 pounds, and I think it's 30 inches. I really need to revisit that. But here I stand, okay? February is 2 days away. So accountability, I'm going to really make some deliberate efforts with nutrition. And I have been going to the rec center, and I'm going to talk about that in my next video. Is how does somebody get started when you have literally not exercised? Now, I have a website that I haven't updated in years, but it's called Coffee, Naps, and Books, because those are the things I love. Guess what? You're not going to, there's no exercise in that little phrase. Is there? Coffee, naps, and books. So I don't like to exercise. I would actually say I dislike exercise. But you know what? That's one of the key successful habits that I need to incorporate if I'm going to get this weight off, and if I'm going to be able to sit on the floor and play with my grandson who's going to be born here in the spring. So that's my goal, is to make those little daily habits that are going to make a difference in my health and in my heart and in my soul. And actually, I am excited about what 22 is going to bring, because again, I'm a different person. So I invite you to read this book. And if you're interested in any of these fabulous Neora products, I will say that taking care of my skincare and noticing the incredible improvements, I use their shampoo, my hair, my skin, my body is so much healthier because of Neora. There's something to be said for being a little vain at our age and taking care of our appearance. So I'm actually gaining confidence from the outside And it is okay to spend time on hair and makeup and appearance. There's nothing wrong with that, friends. So anyway, I'm rambling and I'm going to sign off for today, but stay with me on this journey and I want to hear about your journey as well. And we are blessed and we are given a gift every morning we wake up. Our day is a gift. So let's start unwrapping the gift every morning with eyes of gratitude and joy and excitement for what lays ahead. God bless you. And thanks for watching if you're still hanging in there. Okay, have a great day. And hooday!